All right, Shalom. First, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Ukar Kadas Barakatah, and double honor to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, and salutation to the let. I came out there pushing the word in triple sincerity. In this video, going to be about two articles I seen. One article talking about an Ebola outbreak that had happened in Congo, and another article is a Nipha virus outbreak in India. I'm going to read the one on the Ebola first because this is prophecy. The Lord said, he gonna smite Egypt with the plagues before. What did he smite Egypt with? He smit Egypt with they got boils over their face. They had got lice. Stuff like that. The Lord said he gonna smite them with the plagues of Egypt before. And this Egypt right here, it's more wicked. So the Lord gonna do more greater things. But I'm gonna get this article on www.independent.com.uk. It's a UK site. It says the title is Ebola patients escape quarantine unit on motorbikes to attend busy prayer meeting. So they had these people quarantined, by the article, by reading it, they had these people quarantined and they escaped, on a bike just to attend a prayer. So that right there is that's fucking spreading it right there. And reading on said the patients were in the active phase of disease vomiting, man. And I'm gonna get bear with me. I'm gonna get how Ebola is spread, man. Because they said it was in an active phase of fucking vomiting and shit, So if they do that at the whatever they go, their little prayer, that false god, then it will spread, and then it will spread from the next person to the next person. Bear with me. It says Ebola. They said Ebola spreads through the droplet route. There's no doubt that a splash of Ebola affected fluid to your face can be deadly. So meaning a sneeze, a sneeze, man. There's no doubt of that. A splash of Ebola infected fluid to your face can be deadly. Viruses that move through the second route, the airborne route, can travel more than 30 feet and can stay in the air for minutes, even hours when the humidity and temperature are right, man. So if them people that escaped the quarantine on the motorbikes, if they was to cough or to throw up, and y'all was to be by him and smell that and breathe that in, because believe it or not, germs travel through the air, Yeah, those germs on the ground, but it's actual germs that's travel through the air as like mist and it spreads through the air and stuff. If y'all breathe that in, y'all getting it. If he cough, y'all getting it. If he sneeze, y'all getting it. If it travels through spit too, man. About to read another one. It is believed that Ebola disease spreads only by direct contact with the blood or other bodily fluids of a person who has developed symptoms of the disease. Body fluids that may contain Ebola virus include saliva, mucus, vomit, feces, sweat. So if you out there and you shake a motherfucking hand, you got a cut on your hand, it's sweat getting your cut, it's over with for you. Sweat, tears, breast milk, urine, and semen, man. So on this article, going back to the article, man, it say Ebola patients escape quarantine unit on motorbikes to attend busy prayer. The patients were in active phase of disease vomiting, man. So that can spread, man. But I'm about to read down. 2 dying Ebola patients were taken out of a hospital by their relatives on motorbikes and brought to a prayer meeting. It said brought to a prayer meeting with 50 other people, potentially exposing them to all to the deadly virus. Damn, I'm gonna read that again. 2 dying Ebola patients were taken out of a hospital by their relatives on motorbikes and then brought to a prayer meeting with 50 other people, potentially exposing them all to the deadly virus. So, look, man, for real, that right there can cause a pandemic, and I'm gonna get what a pandemic is, man, because a disease can spread quick, man. Men, it probably was men at the prayer, because I know in these type of areas, in these type of fucking cultures, which is how it's supposed to be. They don't be really allowing women and stuff. So a man gonna go back, pop his wife, he give it to his wife, But Reading on, the Democratic Republic of the Congo is scrambling to contain an outbreak of the disease, which has infected 31 people and killed 22, according to the government figures. Both patients were vomiting and infectious and died hours after the prayer session in the riverport city of Mandaka. Dr. Jean Clement Corporal, Emergency Medical Coordinator for Medicine Sans Frontiers, Doctor Without Borders, said. The escape was organized by the families with 6 motorcycles as the patients were very ill and couldn't walk, Dr. Carborough told a news briefing in Geneva after returning from the affected region. They were taken from a prayer room with 50 people to pray. They were found at 2 in the morning, one of them dead and one was dying. So that's 50, 60 contacts right there. The patients were in the active phase of the disease, man. So they telling you right now, man. That's all I'm gonna read on that, man. It's on independent www.independent.co.uk. They telling you, hey man, they, believe it or not, more than likely 9 times out of 10 somebody got affected, man. You know. Um, but I'm gonna get on this the symptoms of the Ebola virus. You know, the symptoms is I'm gonna get on the requires a medical diagnosis. I'm gonna read the whole thing. So like initial symptoms include fever, headache, muscle pain, and chills. Later, a person may experience internal bleeding, resulting in vomiting or coughing blood. People may experience pain areas in the abdomen, chest, joints, or muscles, whole body, chills, dehydration, fatigue, fever, loss of appetite, malaise, or sweating. And you know, sweating you get contact. If you can get it from that, man. You know, it said bleeding. You know, gastrointestinal diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, or vomiting blood. So it's just like this nigga spitting and diseases in the air. You know, so if you around him, you most definitely probably more than likely got it, which is a deadly disease. Also common coughing up blood, eye redness, headache, mental confusion, red spots on the skin, or sore throat, man. So as you can see, this disease is a deadly virus. You know, the Lord say He has prepared for Himself the instruments of death. You know, cruelty. You know, this is one of them. You know, but I'm gonna get this one in India, and I'm gonna get some scriptures and close it out. This is the www.huffingtonpost.com. And it says, the title is World News Nipha Virus Outbreak. This virus is called the Nipha virus. And I'm going to read the article and I'm going to get the symptoms of it. You know, death toll rises in India as brain damaging disease spreads, man. It's a brain. So this one affects your brain, something that controls your whole body. You know, the Lord is nothing to play with. It said, as the rare virus claims more lives in the Indian state of Kerala, concerns have been raised about the potential of Nipah to become a global health emergency, man. A global health emergency. I mean, all around the globe, man. You know, and that's what a pandemic is, and I'm gonna get it for you after that. You know, after that, I'm gonna get the scriptures, so we're gonna close it out. It says health workers in India scramble to contain an ongoing outbreak of Nipah, a rare and deadly virus with no known cure. Concerns have been raised about the disease's potential to become the next global health emergency. At least 13 people in the Indian state of Kerala have died from the Nipah virus in a recent outbreak. On Monday, the Hindu newspaper reported that a patient with Nipah-like symptoms was under observation in a hospital in Goa, a state in western India. If diagnosed with the disease, the patient reportedly a 20-year-old man who traveled to Goa from Kerala could be the first case of Nipah infection outside Kerala since the recent outbreak began earlier this month. So they found the nigga with an outbreak outside of they city, man. But I'm gonna read this one part, and I'm gonna get you know the symptoms, and I'm gonna get what a pandemic is. Said the Nipah virus, which was first identified in 1999 after an outbreak in Malaysia and Singapore, is a disease thought to be transmitted by bats, pigs, or other animals to humans. The virus, which was mortally rate, has a mortality rate of up to 70%, can cause encephalitis or inflammation of the brain, as well as severe respiratory systems, according to the World Health Organization. This is currently no cure. There is currently no cure or vaccine for Nipah, through research into a possible vaccine is reportedly underway. Well, you know, yeah, that's all I'm gonna get on that. But what you see, man, it really is a cure for that, man. The Lord gave us herbs, man, for every fucking sickness, man. It really is a cure. They just not gonna tell you because they got an agenda. You know, the people who run the whole world, they got an agenda where they want to depopulate the earth. You know, the George's Guidestones maintain the human population under 500 million, man. 7 billion people on this planet. They got to kill off a lot of people, man, in order to make it 500 million, man. You know, and they going to do anything they could to do that, man. You know, and more than likely, the vaccine contained the disease, you know, or had hella side effects. But I'm going to give the Nipah virus symptoms. It said, what is Nipah virus? Nipah virus is a virus transmitted to humans by animals. The virus was identified in 1999 after causing disease in animals and humans. The virus is named after the location where it was first detected in Malaysia. Who is at risk for Nipah virus? People of all ages are at risk for Nipah virus in locations in Asia where the virus is active in local animal populations. In Malaysia and Singapore, infection has been associated with close contact with affected pigs. In Bangladesh and India, infection has been associated with close contact with bats and consumption of raw date palm sap, a source of food for the local bat populations. What are the symptoms of the Nipah virus? Illness with Nipah virus begins with fever and headache, followed by inflammation of the brain, encephalitis, drowsiness, and disorientation characterized by mental confusion. About half of cases also experience respiratory symptoms early on. These signs and symptoms can progress to coma within 24 to 48 hours. So this is how bad this parasite or this germ takes over your brain, man. It said 40% of hospitalized cases have died. Serious nervous disease with Nipah virus encephalitis has been shown to cause long-term illness in some patients that survive. And I wouldn't want to survive no dumb shit like that. It said including to persistent convulsions and personality changes, man. How soon do the symptoms appear? Symptoms usually appear 5 to 14 days after exposure to the Nipah virus. How is the Nipah virus spread? Transmission has occurred in humans through direct contact with affected bats, big horses, infected tissues, and infected people. Person-to-person spread is most likely to occur in family members and caregivers of sick individuals. Modes of transmission start still being investigated. And if you live in a whole house full of family members, it's over for you. You know? But that's all I'm gonna get on that. That was on www.huffingtonpost.com. You know, and the other one, you know, was talking about the Ebola, you know, outbreak. So it's Ebola outbreak in Congo going right now, and a Nipah disease outbreak going on in India. You know, and this is prophesied in the scriptures, and this could turn into a pandemic. You know, to where it kill off a lot of people. You know, the Lord could kill off a lot of people, and they said it's gonna go global. Pandemic. The definition of pandemic is of a disease prevalent over a whole country or the world. Widespread prevalent, pervasive, rife, rampant, man. So, you know, this can actually turn into a pandemic if it continues to spread throughout person to person, man. You know what I mean? It's gonna kill a lot of people off, man. You know, yeah. But I'm gonna get Second Ezra 15:1. I'm gonna get 15:11. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 11. It said, but I will bring them with a mighty hand. No, I'm going to start at 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt. Egypt is bondage, meaning bondage. You know, we know that this is you know, not like actually called in Egypt, but it's called Egypt. The Lord calls it Egypt in the scripture because Egypt had the children of Israel in slavery, and y'all had us in slavery. But it said, but I will bring them out with a mighty and stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy the land. You know, so the Lord said he gonna smite Egypt as with the plagues before. And what did he do to the Egyptians? He smote them with boils and lice and so on and so on. You know, and this is what the Lord gonna do today. You know, he could do it by way of this Ebola outbreak and this Nipah virus. You know, we get Second Ezra chapter 5 verse 1. Second Ezra chapter 5 verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth should be taken in great number, and the way of truth should be hidden, and the land should be barren of faith. You can't tell me an Ebola virus or a fucking Nipah virus will not take a lot of people off the earth, man. You know, and it's not even the only plague the Lord is gonna send around America. Martial law is gonna take a lot of people off the earth. Definitely the nuclear missiles, the beasts of the earth, all that. But I'm specifically focusing on this Nipah virus and Ebola virus. That's just outbreaking, man. Which can become a pandemic, which is a worldwide fucking being spread worldwide by human contact, animal contact, or just traveling through the air passageways that like the locusts travel through. You know, but nevertheless, it could become a pandemic and take a great number of people off the fucking earth, man. Like the Lord prophesied. I'm gonna get Second Ezra chapter 16, 23 to through 31, and I'm gonna close it off with that. Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 23 through 31. It says, "And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? Why? Because niggas gonna be dead. So the grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of man, so that one man shall desire to see another and hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of a field, which shall be hide themselves in thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. For of a city there should be 2 left. It's only gonna be two. You see this whole East Cleveland, or you see Akron or somewhere, 2 people, man. So only gonna be 2 people left there, man. Maybe 5, 10, you know. Guess how many people gonna die? Said, for of a city there should be 10 left, and 2 of a field which should hide themselves in thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. As in the orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 of 4 olives, or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so, in those days there should be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword, man. So it's gonna be a lot of people taken off the earth, man, pursuing the second Ezra, the 5:1, man. You know, nevertheless, it's a concern coming in tokens. Behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth should be taken a great number, and the way of truth should be hidden, and the land should be bearing the faith. You know, it's gonna get to a point where there's a lot of people gonna be dying from these type of Ebola diseases and stuff, and the plagues that the Lord gonna smite Egypt with. You know, as He turned it up, as He loosed the angels, that you only gonna see 10 people in the city and stuff like that. You know, but if you wanna read that article again, look at the video or rewind it, or go back, to hear the title, man. Say Ebola outbreak in Congo, and what's that shit called? Nipha's outbreak in India. But with that, I hope that was edifying. But I'd like to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Bakarkatas, Barakatah, and double honors to the apostles, elders, great millstone, and peace, love, and salutation to the let I come out there, butcher the word, in true sincerity, Shalom.